Breaking news. Black Georgia voters cast their votes against Joe Biden. Take a survey. In the run-up to the 2024 presidential election, Joe Biden is seeing a decline in favor among Black Georgians. Whoever wins the election in November could be decided in Georgia, a crucial swing state. With 11,779 votes, or 0.24% of the 5 million ballots cast, Biden defeated Trump in 2020 and became the first Republican to lose the state in decades. But since then, polls have shown that Biden's support is dwindling, and Trump's chances of retaking the state have increased. Biden wants to stay in the state, he needs the support of Black voters. Although he captured 88% of this group in 2020, a recent survey by the Atlanta Journal-Constitution found that among Black Georgians, 20.4% would back Trump and 58.6% would back Biden. Only 10% of Black Georgians have said they will not be casting a ballot that year. In the meantime, a poll conducted in October by Siena College and the New York Times found that 76% of Black Georgians support Biden, while 19% support Trump. In 2020, when margins are narrow, even a little decline in support could affect Biden's performance in Georgia. With a margin of error of 3.1 percentage points, the University of Georgia's School of Public and International Affairs polled 1,007 registered voters from January 3 to 11. The results showed that in a hypothetical matchup, Trump would have an 8-point lead over Biden, with 45% to 37%. The Republican Party, meanwhile, has either maintained or increased its lead in Georgia since the 2020 election. Republican incumbent Brian Kemp defeated Democratic challenger Stacey Abrams in the 2022 Georgia governor's race. Abrams was seeking to become the first Black female governor in the United States. The re-election of conservative Republican Marjorie Taylor Greene to the House of Representatives occurred in the same month. Historian Mary Frances Berry of the University of Pennsylvania told Newsweek that Black men had lost interest in Biden due to their impressions of the economy, particularly food inflation. For rural Blacks especially, the passage and then withdrawal of federal funds to remedy Black land loss because of long-term Agriculture Department discrimination against Black farmers is a frequent topic of discussion, according to her. Young Blacks have begun avoiding discussion of their lack of enthusiasm about Biden with their parents when the older adults are what they regard as too uncritical of the president and overly concerned with Trump's rhetoric. Housing and justice reforms were crucial to the Black vote, according to Demario Cooper, co-executive director of the progressive advocacy group, the Center for Popular Democracy. Black voters in Georgia are the reason Joe Biden won the state in 2020. According to him, Georgia saw the registration and mobilization of hundreds of thousands of voters led by Black organizations. This year, we must not take this important electorate for granted. Housing, police accountability, justice reforms, and protecting voting rights are some of the most important problems to Black Americans, and President Biden must show his dedication to these causes if he wants to engage and excite Black people in Georgia and throughout the nation. Some Black voters in the state have become indifferent because of what they see as a lack of attention in their issues, according to Candace Smith, a political science professor at Duke University. But she warned against generalizing about Black voters. Many people have been shocked at the proportion of Black Americans who are reporting in polls that they may consider supporting Trump, but perhaps the thing we ought to focus on is the proportion of folks who, at this time, simply do not want to vote at all if the choice is between Biden and Trump. According to her, political life in the United States is no different from any other, she said. People want to have their voices heard, and new polls show that Black people have a complicated range of opinions. Even if many Black Americans are unhappy with the current situation, others are even more disgruntled because the Democratic Party, which they have supported for many years, is not giving them a chance to voice their displeasure. Furthermore, some Black people may be expressing a lack of loyalty to society norms by voting for Trump, while others may have genuine affection for the president. Black Americans, particularly younger Black folks, have been moving away from self-identifying as Democrats and toward independence for a while now, and it's worth watching. Changes in Black political affiliation and support have occurred previously. This could be an example of what happens when a group feels pressured to pick the lesser of two evils. Black Americans have a long history of voting for Democrats in presidential elections. Joe Biden received 87% of black men's votes in 2020, while Trump received 12%. On the other hand, if Trump is chosen as the Republican Party's candidate in 2024, he has the potential to garner more black votes than any Republican before him. However, this could be attributed to rising turnout and his overall success in the polls. Meanwhile, a Bloomberg News/Morning Consult poll found that Biden's favorability among black voters in 7 battleground states fell to 61% between October and December 2023, a decline of 7%. During that time, Trump's favorability rating has been relatively stable at about 25%, with 41% of the vote for Biden and 42% for Trump. A recent survey by Redfield and Wilton Strategies of 1,025 potential voters found that the two candidates are virtually tied. The changing voting habits of Georgia's black population will have far-reaching national consequences, but these effects will not be apparent until November.